Metzger, and this is the Network Marketers Den podcast. You know, you are in the best industry in the world, and you should be having fun, not be stressed out. I know that sometimes I'm a bit stressed out, but more importantly, I am having a heck of a lot of fun. So why do people join this great industry? And some of this you may be able to relate to. Maybe it's you. Maybe you just want to earn a little bit of extra money. You want to have enough money at the end of the month. Maybe you're the person that wants to really make this their full-time gig, their full-time career. Some people join our industry because they just want to meet people. They want some social activity, social aspect. Some people, if you're perhaps approaching retirement, just want something fun to do to help keep them busy. A lot of people want that time freedom. You know, everybody's got the same amount of time. It's all how you use it. And then, of course, there's a few people out there, actually probably a lot of people, that just want to get their products at a discount. But I'm not talking to those people today, regardless of why you are doing this, other than if you just want a discount, this will apply to you. Actually, this will apply to really many, many aspects of your life. The fact of the matter is that when you are running a business, no matter what your goals are in this business, there just are certain tasks that you have to do. The problem is where people run into running out of time and are feeling busy and stressed is because they focus on the stuff that really doesn't get them closer to their end goal, to the reason why they're in that business. They focus on it so they can check it off the list. People get a sense of satisfaction of being able to cross it out. I got that done. I got that done. But the problem is when you look at it that way, it doesn't get you closer to your goal. They focus on that stuff. They just have that sense of accomplishment. I've checked it off the list. They feel really accomplished, but they don't have any results. My friend, Drew Berman, who is an expert in this industry, says it this way. They're busy, but they're broke. And that's not what you want to do. Most people, and maybe it's you, do this business part-time. In fact, it's around 80%, 83% do this business full-time, part-time. On average, most people will put in about 10 hours a week. So it is very part-time for some. For others, it's a true part-time 20 hours a week. And then, of course, there's that group that it does it full-time. But most do it about 10 hours, 10 to 15 hours a week. Here's where the problem comes in, and maybe you can relate to this. If you're spending 90% of those hours, or 9 out of 10 hours, doing stuff, clearing your decks, social media, doing admin work, watching training, watching this, watching that, you are not going to get to where you need. There's no wonder why you're not achieving your goals. You're busy being busy. You really need to follow that 80-20 rule. You've all heard it. It's called the Pareto Rule, that you should spend 80% of your time on income-producing activities, on spending time with the right people. 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of the people. There is a tendency in our industry that we spend time with those 20% that take up 80% of your time, and they don't earn you any money. So that is a skill that you have to learn, how to identify who to work with. So if you are spending 9 out of 10 hours spending time with people that don't earn you money or doing tasks that don't earn you money, you're going to continue to be frustrated. So what you need to do is you need to spend 80 to 90% of your time on what is going to get you results and what's going to get you to your goals. That other 10 to 20% is on the stuff. Okay, so I know that there's stuff that has to be done. And quite frankly, a lot of that stuff could either be delegated or it could be dumped. chances are, if it doesn't get done, you don't miss it. So all of us have a lot going on, whether it's in our business, our personal life, if you have kids, if you have another job, whatever the case may be, there's a lot going on. So what most of us do, myself included, is we do a to-do list. And it looks like a grocery list. It looks like a laundry list. There's a lot of stuff on there. So what we all want to do is we just want to check, yep, did that. And what tends to happen is we do the stuff first that is in that 20%, the stuff, not the revenue generating activities. So what you really need to do is you need to flip-flop that. And what you do first is what's most important, that 80% of the things that will help you to achieve your goal. So many of you have heard of, and if you haven't, Google Franklin Covey. I've been a student of Franklin Covey for many, many years, pretty much my entire career. First, I used their paper planner. Well, now I use electronic. But the principle is the same, no matter what system you use, whether it's electronic or it's paper. At the end of the day, you have to prioritize. You have to prioritize what you are going to do. Because the fact of the matter is, unless you want to work 24/7, you're never going to get it all done. So these are the rules, the ABCs of planning your activities. So here's how it works. You're simply going to use, there's a sheet that is provided. I'll talk a little bit more about it. It's your to-do list. It's a list. Okay. And you're going to, every time something comes up, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do this, I have to do that, I got to pick up the kids, I got to blah, 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 whatever it is, it does not matter. You put it on there. And then you're going to look at it and go, is this an A priority? Is this a B priority? Is this a C priority? Well, an A priority is an absolute must. It has to get done. Yes, you have to pick up your kids. Well, maybe you could delegate it, but the kids can't be stuck at school. Okay, so it's an A priority, no exceptions. It must get done. And when it comes to business activities, these are business activities that are going to move you towards your goal achievement. So they are A activities. The B activities are things that should be done, could be done, but if they don't get done right away, it's not the end of the world. Okay. Then there are those C activities. Those are the activities that most people do, so they can check it off the list, but they don't make any difference whatsoever. If they don't get done, it will really not matter. It is not the end of the world. Okay, so instead of starting with the C's, you start with the A priorities. I actually developed this list. I've used this system forever, it feels like, but I developed this list for a client that was struggling with, he had notes all over the place and couldn't find what he needed to do. So first of all, it was designed to help him to get organized. So he got very well organized. And then the other benefit of it is when you put it on a list, it kind of gets it off your brain and onto a piece of paper so you can stay focused on other things. So that was one of the reasons why we did it, to be organized and to just kind of clear his mind. So it all started this way. I said, put everything that you need to do on this list, no matter what. So he put it on the list. And then I said, take a look at it. And you can keep adding to the list. It's not like you have to do it all at once. It's your grocery list. You keep adding to it. And I said, take a look at it and ask yourself, if I do this, will it help move my business? If the answer is yes, it's an A priority. If the answer is maybe, it's a B priority. If it's a C priority, that's one that it'd be nice to do, but if I don't do it, it's not the end of the world. Okay, so here's the key. So you put everything down on the list. Second thing that you do is you decide, is this A, B, or C priority? And then the third thing that you have to do, this is where the discipline comes in. You don't move on from an A activity, from a revenue generating activity, until you finish all the A activities. So if you've got 3 A activities on there, you do those 3 before you go to the B's. You don't get off the B's to go to the C's until all the B's are done. But I'm going to tell you what happens most of the time if you're doing it the right way. You probably never even get to those C activities. Again, you've got to decide, does this have to be done? Can I delegate this? Or do I just need to dump it? And I think you'd be surprised how many things you can dump that are nice to do, but really and truly don't make any difference. So what would be an A activity in your business if you're going to be successful working towards your goals? An A activity would be something like, I'm going to talk to 3 people today, and I'm going to have a live conversation with 3 people. It could be, I'm going to do 1 presentation today. Maybe it's, I'm going to do 3 follow-up phone calls, 3 follow-up Zoom meetings. I'm going to generate 3 leads talking to somebody. If you don't get these priorities done, you don't go any farther. Nothing else matters. So what do? You do them first thing. You do the most difficult things first. You do the things that will generate income for you and help you to achieve your goals first. And then there's no excuses that you ran out of time. So do the things that will help you to achieve your goals. It's that simple. It's simple, but it does take discipline. But these are the things that are revenue generating activities. Because see, if you don't do these, all that other stuff really and truly doesn't matter. What's a B activity? That could be, oh, I've got to do a post in my Facebook group. I've got to do a post for my team. Okay. I'm not saying that that's not important, but that's not what you do first. It's not a top priority. And the C is really just the stuff. Oh, I've got to make sure I take this training, or I've got to scroll my Facebook, or I've got to get on Instagram or whatever. Those are nice to do, but they're not what you need to do first. Those can be done. Maybe they're not part of your 10 hours a week that you're working your business. But if you don't get to them, it is not the end of the world. But these A activities are the consistent activities that you need. So what's really important at the end of the day, and I know you've heard this before, but this is a fundamental, is that you've got to have interaction with people. There's just no getting around it. Remember, social media is very, very important in your business to meet people, but you need to take it to the next level and actually have a conversation of some sort. Okay, so I'm not discounting it, but I'm saying that is just the start. The conversation is really going to be the art, and that conversation could help lead you to a presentation, which is your ultimate goal, whether it's for product or it's for building your team. You got to, of course, follow up. That's important. That should go on that to-do list. And if you want to really take it to the next level, write down under your follow-up who you're going to follow up with and what the date is. Maybe you put it on your calendar. Does not matter. But if you don't follow up, you're not going to be able to close the sale. So this is really important for you to do. Take it to the next level. Teach your team to do the same thing. Keep them focused on the activities that are going to help generate revenue and help them achieve their goals. So if you're slammed for time, only do the things that really matter. And those are the things where you are talking to people, you're touching people, and you're having conversations and doing presentations. That's really what it amounts to. So in the note section of the podcast, you will find a link to the to-do, and I like to call it really the to-don't list. So you can print out to your heart's content and use it. So I recommend that you do one for each day. And I do hang on to the list. If it's an A priority or a B priority, I will move it forward. I will not take the time and rewrite a C priority. It'll just be on the list. So I just hang on to them. But imagine how your business can totally change in a simple way if you spend 80% of your time on things that will generate revenue rather than spending 80% of your time on stuff that doesn't make any difference. So, well, that's this week's episode of the Network Marketers Den. I invite you to check out my free Facebook group, the Network Marketers Den, and also my website where you can learn more about the GATE method, how you can 5 times your business. So everybody have a great one, and here's to your success. This is Janet Metzger of the Network Marketers Den.